So, good evening, everyone. So, we will be presenting for minimalism. So, minimalist, according to the web, is an extreme form of abstract art developed in the USA in the 1960s and typified by artworks composed of simple geometric shapes based on the square and the rectangle. Minimalism or minimalist art can be seen as extending the abstract idea that art should have its own reality and not be an imitation of some other thing. We usually think of art as representing an aspect of the world, a landscape, a person, or even a thin soup, or reflecting an experience such as an emotion or feeling. With minimalism, no attempt is made to represent an outside reality. The artist wants the viewer to respond only to what is in front of them. The medium or material from which it is made and the form of the work is the reality. Minimalist painter Frank Stella famously said about his painting, "What you see is what you see."
Okay, the history of minimalism art. Minimalism started off during the late 1950s. It started with Frank Stella, who is the creator of black paintings. Frank's career started to hit during the 1960s and 1970s, along with many great artists like Carl Andre, Dan Flavin, and Donald Judd, also with Sol Lewitt, Agnes Martin, and Robert Morris.
So, we'll go ahead with the minimalist effect. So, minimalism is indeed simple, but we can actually change our perspective to this type of art. Minimalism left a great impact since the 1950s. It created a new world towards the history of modernism. It made new views and experiences with art. What was greatly impactful about the minimalist philosophy was that it was a style that completely glorified simple and essential elements of line and form, which has today importantly translated into music, interior design, graphic design, and architecture. People today have even gone so far to adopt these foundation and attitudes of minimalism as a way of living life. It all started from a flat surface to 3D models to the interior of houses and even the styling of clothes. This shows how incredibly massive the wave of minimalism is. By the term minimalism art, it can sound quite general, but surprisingly, minimalism can come in various ways, like painting, sculpture, print, photography, design, and much more. There are plenty of options when thinking about incorporating such works into your collection or home.
For the forms of minimalism art, minimalist art for home. Minimalist art may just be there, may just be the cherry on top for the finishing touch for your home. Having minimalist art in your home could make your place simple yet somehow elegant, with the matching lights, colors, matching shapes, and on top of that, a minimalist portrait or sculpture. The simple, hard-edged geometric forms of minimalism do not necessarily mean that such works are bland. Quite the opposite, actually. Minimalist art can add a sense of rhythm and repetition within a space, and create a fluid flow within the room.
So, minimalist art for workspace. When you feel stressed out, would you prefer something neat and calm or something that's loud and chaotic? Indeed, you would choose what is best suited for you. When working at your company, you would want to see light color tones and every object is in uniform. The clean lines, reductive simplicity of minimalist split pieces can help to bring a sense of cohesion in an office, which is important and fundamental in a working environment. It might be boring, but it can actually set a great standard for work. Something undemanding, but can actually be intimidating for its sophistication.
So we have three elements of minimalism art. First is colors. The use of color is strictly limited monochromes and primary color palettes, and is another distinguishing feature of minimalist art. As a result, the artwork takes on a more neutral tone and the hue remains consistent. The second one, geometric shape. The most common shapes that are used are squares and rectangles. Curved shapes would clash a certain artwork, may it be paintings or sculptures. And the last element is precise and angular. The square and rectangle are quite popular because they offer this exact and hard-edged form, which is a characteristic of minimalist art shapes for painting and sculpture. Some characteristics of minimalism are harmony, simplicity, and order.
So these are the references, and thank you for
Yeah,
listening.
thank you so much for listening.